Jeff here with me. So we got a few topics that we want to talk about today. So some of you guys might be new to the podcast. If you're watching this on Twitch, because I've been doing a lot of Call of Duty streams lately. Haven't done. This is the first stream that the first stream. It's the first podcast style video that we're doing on Twitch. So if you're new to it, welcome aboard. This is I think our 11th podcast total, and we had kind of put these on the back burner for a while for whatever reason. But we're back at them. We're back with a vengeance. Although as you can see, that there's actually two of our team members that are not here today for different reasons. But it's all good. We got a few things to talk about, namely, there's been, I don't know if it's a rumor, Jeff, you're going to clarify this, but there's been some talk that Microsoft has tried to pull off the impossible, which is to buy Nintendo, buy out the competition, just like when Vince McMahon bought out exterminate the competition, and just become the king of the video gaming industry. Now, I don't know if it's true. I just heard about this. So, Jeff, what do you know about this? Let us know.
So on entrepreneur.com, there's a whole piece that just came out yesterday talking about how Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo but got laughed out of the room. So I'm going to switch over here, pull up the article so everybody can see it. So it says that Microsoft considered using its considerable financial might to buy developers, and Microsoft set its sights high, approaching Nintendo. Microsoft was laughed out of the room, a director for the third-party relations of Xbox. They just laughed their asses off, he said. He said, like, imagine an hour of somebody just laughing at you.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing my ass off at the article that's talking about Microsoft getting laughed at in the room. But that's, well, like, if someone is coming at you with an offer, everyone has their price, right? But Microsoft is one of the most, one of the most prestigious. Actually, I don't know about prestigious, but it's definitely one of the highest value companies in the world. I think it's top two, top three, definitely. So you have Microsoft coming at you. Sure, you can laugh at them. I just want to hear what they have to say first, maybe.
If you're Nintendo, I don't know. And according to this, it wasn't just Nintendo. Most notably, Microsoft failed trying to get EA. EA was the first company that Microsoft reached out to, and they also they also passed with a more simple no thanks.
Now you can tell that whoever wrote this is not a huge fan of Microsoft. That's pretty funny. Right. So they want to buy EA. Now we know that Microsoft has bought Bethesda or ZeniMax, well, in 2020, and so it really. Okay, is there any credibility to this article? Is this just rumored, or is this? Because
This
it kind of reads like a gossipy kind of piece, but is this actually true? Did this happen?
this is according to Kevin Bacchus, a director for third-party relations on the Xbox project. So if I don't know if he had to do with the meeting and he was there, and they quote him saying that they just laughed their asses off, Bacchus said to Bloomberg. So this was picked up by Bloomberg first, and then this is just a rewriting on Entrepreneur, but it sounds like this is absolutely true.
That's insane. It's just funny because it's kind of embarrassing for Microsoft, so I find it a little funny that one of their reps would put this information.
No kidding. Yeah, it's a little weird. Why would he's not. It says he's with Xbox. I guess he is a rep for Microsoft, but it is weird that he would come out and say that. Why would you want everybody to know that?
And by the way, guys, I know that we have this set as Black Ops Cold War. I'm going to go and change this real quick so we don't confuse our viewers here. Because it does say that we're streaming Black Ops Cold War, at least on Twitch it is. So I'm going to go and change this to just talking because we are just talking right now. We're not going to be doing any Black Ops Cold War. We're going to be doing that tonight. Well, I'll be doing that tonight. but not right now. So I'm just gonna fix that real quick, just so that
So unprepared.
yeah. It's all
Jeez.
your fault, Jeff. You're the one that set this up.
Yeah. Yeah. While you're doing that, this says that Microsoft also has was also meeting with Square Enix and Mortal Kombat developer Midway.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So, yeah. Apparently, Microsoft is just meeting with anybody and everybody trying to buy them out.
They seem really desperate right now.
It makes you wonder, is there something going on with their developers for Xbox and stuff? Like, why are they trying to get all these? Is it just a power move, or are they struggling with something?
Yeah, it's very weird that they are, they're trying to make moves all over the place. They have made, and they're trying to make more moves. And of course, when they made the the ZeniMax move, it was a huge move, right? They acquired a company for, I believe it was $8 billion at the time, and 8 billion is not spare change. I think we touched on this last time that we spoke about it, but I think when Disney acquired Star Wars, they paid something like $4.5 billion. So they make a purchase that's twice as much as what Disney paid for, I would say, arguably a bigger franchise. Of course, Disney purchased
How
Star Wars
dare you?
before. You think that Bethesda is worth more than Star Wars?
No. I thought you were saying that Bethesda was bigger than Star Wars.
No, 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 not at all.
Oh, okay. I was like, jeez.
No, 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 no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Microsoft bought a franchise that, in my opinion, is worth less than Star
Oh,
Wars,
right, 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 right.
but they bought it for twice as much.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of saying in a way that I believe that they overpaid for Bethesda. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And basically this was just last year. So all of a sudden they're trying to acquire. It sounds like they're trying to acquire EA, Nintendo. Now look, I don't know if any numbers are going to show up in the speech that we're looking at here, but if Bethesda is worth $8 billion, EA must be worth what? Double?
I mean, at that rate, how much would Nintendo be worth?
Nintendo would be worth.
Trillions? Like, if we're playing by those rules, like,
That's a good question. I truly don't know. But this is the thing, though. So if they said that they were laughed out of the room, now I don't know where this meeting took place, but there is. I think we might have touched upon this in a prior podcast, but in Japan, there is this kind of notion. It's this kind of resistance to a foreign takeover. So I'm not sure that taking over, buying out a Japanese company, especially a Japanese company as iconic as Nintendo, I'm not sure that you can even do it as a foreigner.
I
You know what I mean?
and
I think it's priceless. I think Nintendo is almost priceless to Japan, and I just don't see them ever selling out to Microsoft, regardless of the price. Now I know when I started this, I was talking about you got to entertain the offer, and I still think that you have to do that. What if Microsoft is willing to pay, God knows, 2 or 3 times the valuation of Nintendo? They are that desperate. They have the cash. They can do it. What if? You got to at least consider it. Now, of course, Nintendo is not going to go through with it, but it sounds like they kind of just preemptively laughed Microsoft out of the room, which is funny. It's insulting. It's kind of embarrassing for Microsoft altogether, and it's that much more surprising that a Microsoft rep would actually divulge this.
I I don't. It doesn't say in the article, but from what we can see, I assume that they probably were in Japan because it also says that Microsoft was also meeting with Square Enix. So that makes me. I would assume that they went to Japan and talked to these companies. Um,
Yeah.
the Midway one. That's a little. Is Midway in Japan? I don't think so
No, so Midway, I'm pretty sure, is an American company.
because it's
Uh,
Ed Boon and stuff, right? Like he's a part of it, or is
um,
it just the NetherRealm stuff?
Ed Boon and his new company NetherRealm some 10 years or so ago. And by the way, guys, if you're new to the podcast, don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. If you guys have any questions, any points you'd like to make, just don't be shy. Say them in the chat. We'll highlight them for you. Yeah. So I think it was some 10 years ago that Ed Boon kind of created NetherRealm. NetherRealm. Yeah.
NetherRealm Studios.
NetherRealm. I'll get to it. And I think it was because maybe it was Acclaim that had an issue. So there was like a developer and a publisher or something like that. There was that kind of relationship between Acclaim and Midway Studios, and that's when NetherRealm came in. And I believe NetherRealm was acquired by WB Studios, Warner Bros.
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah. Yep. Warner Brothers.
That's right. And so I'm not exactly sure if Midway is still involved in there. I
And
don't know.
this says in 2009, Midway Games filed for bankruptcy. Warner Brothers purchased most of Midway's assets, and Midway settled. Um, in 2010, the bankruptcy court dismissed claims concerning his sale. Blah blah blah. So yeah, they filed for bankruptcy, and then Warner Brothers kind of came in and saved the day. But I'm not seeing anything about because I think maybe Ed Boon is probably just NetherRealm, and so he's like a
I believe he is. Yeah.
yeah. So he's the NetherRealm is just owned by a subsidiary to Warner Brothers.
That's right.
So that's kind of a what if Microsoft was trying to buy up these companies would and you're you're going so you start with like the heaviest hitters. You go for Nintendo, you go for Square Enix, and then you try to get Midway, which is owned by Warner Brothers. That seems like it would like that just seems like a silly thought. Like
Yeah, but also there's also the kind of like the question around the motivation. So it seems like Mortal Kombat probably. What is going on, Mouse? What is going on?
holiday drunkenness.
Yeah, but that was over a week ago, right? I've been sober since
It's
January 1st.
it's holiday just holiday hangover. This we just had like a whole month of this crap. Still recovering. It's like a red eye flight takes 2 days to recover. Holiday month takes like 2 weeks.
My mouth is all dry, so I don't know what's going on. Of course, I was streaming kind of late-ish last night, so
That'll do it.
that could be it. Um, yeah, so yeah, I think Mortal Kombat would be probably a major target. If that was the case, I can't see why not. Mortal Kombat tends to do very, very well in terms of sales each and every iteration, each and every time they come out with a new game. And so I feel like that would be it. But this is the one thing that I don't understand about this kind of new endeavor or whatever you want to call it of Microsoft to try to buy out existing studios. So if you're going to buy out, let's say Midway or let's say another whatever, let's say you buy out one of those. Let's say you buy out Eastern. Let's just let's just say. And so, what is the goal then? Are you looking to make Madden console exclusive? Because I don't think the NFL, first of all, would be okay with that. The NFL, of course, sells the license to Madden. And it would be the same thing for FIFA. You have all of that. FIFA, of course, has different licenses because it deals with multiple different leagues: the Spanish league, the French league, the English league. It deals with the World Cup, and all of these are different entities. So you need different licenses for all of them, or unless they all fall under the FIFA license. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but they're all different entities. So um, it's a little more complex. But regardless of that, I would assume there would have to be some agreement in terms of that, because all of a sudden you're limiting the player pool to just one console. I, if that's what Microsoft would be trying to do, and if they're not trying to make all these games console exclusive, is it truly worth it to buy these existing studios that are putting out these multi-platform games? Microsoft's reputation in the video game world. It would give people maybe more confidence that they're in it for the long term and all of that stuff. But I'm not sure that it would really do anything. So if they pay, let's say, $20 billion for EA Sports, and they still keep all the games on both consoles or all three consoles with the Switch, um, would that really do anything? Would they get $20 billion bang in their pocket?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they would.
I don't. If I was Microsoft and like, if you have $8 billion to buy ZeniMax, why not just test the waters with a new studio, or create your own studio? You know, like why do you want to buy existing IPs already? Just I understand that like, with the existing IP, like you have the fan base built in already, and you have all that stuff going for you. But I mean, if you have that money, that seems like the perfect time to kind of play around and test some things.
That's exactly my point, Jeff. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like, is it worth it? Because I'm not sure if it is, or would perhaps a better way to spend that much money would be to kind of try to create new IPs, or maybe buy small unknown IPs or some indie studios and try to really build those up into big studios, into known commodities.
And
And
that's what
that,
that's what Microsoft has had success with. It goes on in this article and it talks about their acquisition of Bungie back when it was nothing, and now
that's right.
it's completely grown into this huge, enormous thing. It says right here at the time Bungie was little known, and then Halo Combat Evolved arrived and it just blew up, and then they have Destiny and everything. Well, they had Destiny, and then it's just like why not? Like if it's worked and you have a proven formula of it working before, it seems like a silly stretch to go after something like Nintendo. Like it's just
Do they still have Destiny, or
it went. It's yeah, it's not Bungie anymore. That's why the complaints about Destiny 2 and stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna be in trouble for not knowing.
it's okay. Right now we just have one listed.
They're
So playback you may know.
um why is it so hard to find? Oh, Activision. That's the publisher, and then Destiny 2 develop. Oh, I guess it was still Bungie. The publisher change, I think, is what the because I think Bungie is their own publisher now.
All right. So they still own it. So
Yeah,
I guess the
there's
complaints are just
maybe from them trying to take it all themselves. I don't know. I just remember a lot of people complaining about Destiny 2 when it launched.
right. Yeah, but if you look around on Twitch, for example, a lot of people still play.
Oh yeah, yep, it's still big.
I'm just gonna tweet out a message just to see if we can maybe get some extra viewers for discussion on Microsoft trying to buy Nintendo. There we go.
Yeah, it goes on to say that it's not a stretch to say the game gave the Xbox immediate legitimacy and helped it carve out a significant chunk of the gaming market, despite the dominance of Sony and Nintendo. Yeah, because Halo revolutionized everything for Xbox. Without Halo, I don't know where Xbox would be right now. So it is almost like Microsoft has put all their eggs in one basket because they have Halo, they have Gears of War, and they have one or two other things. Like I understand how they're trying to reach out, but it just I don't think they're going about it the right way.
No, I don't feel like they are. I feel this is the thing. So, um, you often hear people when Microsoft is doing on questioning Xbox's long-term future in the gaming industry. It's definitely something that you hear. Let me just pull this down so you know better. You often hear people questioning So I feel like this kind of switch, this change is perhaps to show that Microsoft really, really is a serious, serious player, and they have every intention to be a serious player for a long time. And I think that's great, and it does reassure me. But I do think that they're going to have to make some more moves to really satisfy gamers and to really bring. Look, I think it's no secret that Microsoft Xbox has lost a lot of players since the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, generation switch, and so they are definitely trying to amp up this generation. They're trying to really get people to join Xbox for this generation, and I think that's what these moves are. I think that Microsoft sees a big future in gaming as they should, and they're smart to see it. And I think that they're willing to put their money where their thought processes, I guess. And I think that's what it's about. They realize perhaps some of the mistakes they made, and they're trying to make up for them. But yeah, like you say, I do think that they should really focus on the small videos. But this is the thing, Jeff. It's like when they try to buy Nintendo, let's just say, or EA Sports, well, it's going to make news, and then people are going to talk about it. We're talking about it. If Microsoft buys off a small unknown studio, yeah, it's going to make news on some sites, but not many people are going to talk that much about it. It's not going to create the buzz that Microsoft is looking for. This does that. Now, of course, if you read the article, it's not very good for Microsoft, but it at least creates some buzz for them. Whereas the path that we're talking about is a more long-term path, right? It's a harder path. It's the right path, but it's a harder path. And so, I can understand where Microsoft is coming from
Um,
trying to do this.
so I'm almost wondering, because looking at this now, this was part of Bloomberg's in-depth oral history of how the console came to be, and it says that one particular passage stands out. So this may be from 2000. This may I looking at this now. Looking at this now, it says um, that this passage stands out. Details Microsoft's efforts to secure games for the brand new console. So this was
So we're
we're thinking of it now. This okay. So
sorry guys.
Microsoft
We got a long
specific.
angle on that one.
Yeah. So looking at this now, it says that back then it did make some sense. At the time, Nintendo was lagging behind Sony, so Microsoft figured it'd take on hardware production and leave Nintendo to focus on the software. We actually had Nintendo in our building in January 2000 to work through the details of a joint venture where we gave them all the technical specs of the Xbox. The pitch was that their hardware stunk, and compared to Sony PlayStation, it did. So the idea was, listen, you're much better at the game portions of it with Mario. Why don't you let us take care of the hardware? But it didn't work out. So I was in the frame that this was like going on now.
Uh, sorry guys, we lost you.
Oh wow. I'm dumb.
But no, it's funny, Jeff. Right? It's funny because look, I mean, we can, yeah, I mean, we can talk about it from that perspective too. But yeah, like I mean, we kind of like half an hour talking about it from the wrong perspective.
Holiday hangover.
But that's okay. We can make up for it. Yeah. So back then it did make sense, and you know what's funny is that so Microsoft is ripping on Nintendo for their shitty ass hardware, but like that was 20 years ago, and Nintendo is still putting out shitty ass hardware. But guess what? It's still working, just like it was back then. It's still freaking working. Like who in the hell is Microsoft to comment on Nintendo's business model? And this is probably what they were thinking at the time.
Especially a brand new Microsoft Xbox that was just coming out.
Exactly. And let's just put this in perspective. Back in 2000, Microsoft had Windows ME, which was the absolutely shittiest, most shitty, buggiest operating system of all time. And, I mean, Microsoft was doing well, because Microsoft always does well because of their, infiltration into the business sector. But, but let's just be real from an optics perspective. Microsoft was struggling with their own shit to some extent. Let's just be honest with it. And it's not like Microsoft was this big um, producer or a manufacturer of hardware necessarily, because a lot of hardware, when it comes to computers, doesn't get manufactured by Microsoft. You get your video card from NVIDIA or ATI, you get your processor from Intel, you get this and that. So where is Microsoft's expertise really in the hardware department per se? I don't really know where it is.
Yeah, yeah. When you say it that way, it's like their Xbox. That was their only hardware.
The Xbox was, as far as I know, I mean, some other things before, but I remember having my PC in the late 90s, and it wasn't Microsoft PC. It was just the box was made by whoever, the processor was made by Intel, my video card was a 3DFX,
Yeah,
was
voodoo.
made by whatever, my motherboard was made by Gigabyte or whatever, right? You don't hear Microsoft anywhere
Right.
there, right? And so yeah, Microsoft came in, I think Xbox One came out in 2001, and that was kind of, it's still not really their hardware inside. Maybe the motherboard, I'm not sure, but it's still not really their hardware inside. But they kind of packaged it together. So basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, this is what it sounds like to me. Microsoft, before they invented the Xbox, they were actually more interested in kind of entering the video game world by being a partner to Nintendo.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
That's exact. Yeah, exactly. They wanted to be. Yeah, they wanted to be the. They wanted to be the producer and wanted Nintendo to be the actors. They wanted to work behind the scenes while Nintendo dropped their entire catalog onto their system.
Right.
Yeah, but
It's That's interesting. And then Nintendo said, "Well, go after yourself,"
basically, yeah.
and then Microsoft said, "Okay, we will." And then they integrated the Xbox line, which was a good console. It was big and ugly as hell, but it was a decently successful console. And I
I
think
mean,
for a first console, it was pretty successful.
Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you have to say about Xbox. Like when that came out, that was everything.
But here's the issue though, and I think Nintendo I think Nintendo saw this. So there is a certain synergy between the software and the hardware, in the sense that Nintendo obviously is not about more horsepower equals better necessarily. They're about innovating in ways that others are not. And so, if all of a sudden you're trying to do your innovation in whatever, and then you have your hardware side telling you, well, we're just going to pump in more horsepower, more, and then the software side is telling you, well, no, but we need this, we need that, and things like that. This is what we need, this is what we need to prioritize. Then all of a sudden you have a bit of a problem between the two, and between the overall kind of like ideology of the game making. And so I think that was probably an issue for Nintendo. They didn't want to take shit from the Americans. For what it boils down to. But that's pretty much
Um,
true though. And yeah, it's funny that we kind of misread that article.
yeah, I definitely did. I like I was all in it for this year, and I was like, why the fuck would they even attempt that?
I'm just gonna change the title around a little bit, just so people don't think that we're misreading it. Because we misread ourselves,
Uh,
James.
no
We
kidding.
misread ourselves.
That was
That's
interesting.
funny. That's funny. Jeez.
Wow, so that was in 2000. 2000. What I mean, that was right before 2 years before PS2. We were still playing 64 PS1.
So the PS2 came out in
2002.
2000? No, it came out in 2000. 2000 or 2001.
That was 2002.
The PS2 came out. No way. It came out in 2000. I'm pretty sure about
Oh,
that.
okay. Yep, March 4th, 2000.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. It was a Dreamcast that came out either late 1999 or early
I
2000.
probably just didn't get one till 2002.
Yeah, well, me neither, but that's another story. I was poor. I
Yeah.
was too poor to afford it. And I remember having like one of those mod chips inside to play my friends' games because
Yeah.
they copied.
Yeah.
Because I was poor. That's what I had to do. Vice City.
Vice City.
Um, yeah. So this is some kind of old news that we're thinking, and it's kind of interesting to talk about. It's kind of funny. I think things worked out for Microsoft in a lot of ways. I'm not sure that they would have been better off to leave this partnership, um, and I'm not sure that Better would have been better off to leave this partnership. So
No.
I think because you can see that Microsoft's kind of like MO has really been with shooters, right? They started off with Halo, and that was it. And they got Gears. So you've got these games that seem to fit a very different path than what Nintendo does. And so I think their systems work well with those games, and so I think it's fine. More diversity is not necessarily a bad thing. But 2000 also brings me back to the Dreamcast, and that makes me sad. Makes me
Sonic.
sad that makes me sad that Dreamcast had to die. Very sad.
Had to die so others could live.
That's what it comes down to. But I
That's
think speaking of the Dreamcast, didn't Sega kind of do a similar thing in a way? Because after the Dreamcast bombed, and it did, and it died, slow pain. Actually, it wasn't slow; it was very sudden. It just died. Had a big heart attack and just fell on the ground dead. But after the Dreamcast died, Sega basically they resorted to becoming like a software publisher kind of thing,
yeah.
and they just started kind of making games, right? And not that was their thing. They didn't want to make hardware. They weren't for whatever reason they weren't getting into hardware, and so they have to stop. This is Sega's still around.
Oh yeah, they're still publishing.
Yeah, they're
Let's
still
see.
around, and maybe one day they will return. They might.
Um so even recently they've acquired I guess it's not recent. I mean 2016 they're still buying games and franchises and stuff. Um see they have World Club Champion Football latest release 2019. They just
Oh, by the way, we got Hugo in the chat. Hey Hugo, if you're still there, what's up? How's it going?
what's going on?
I'll be back. Sorry, Jeff, go on.
Let's see. I was just trying to find something like because I still see Sega pop up at the beginning of some games. So I was just trying to see like what recently and I see like Football Manager 2020, 2018 House of the Dead.
Really? That's still going? I
latest
haven't played that since like 1998.
latest release 2018. Fantasy Star 2018. I mean, they're still publishing and they've been publishing the whole time. And of course Sonic.
I didn't know. You're saying they're publishing the Football Manager series?
I think they just let me scroll back down. Where did it go? Pro Soccer Thunder Force. What? Where'd it go? Football Manager.
Yeah, Football
Yeah,
Manager. That's a very popular game.
by Sports Interactive. They acquired it in I guess I don't know when they acquired it, but it says that yeah, they own the franchise.
Yeah, I played Football Manager back in the mid 2000s. It's a very in-depth game, like a soccer game. Very in-depth. It's not. It's like a simulation. It's not like you don't actually get to play. It's not like FIFA or anything. It's just about finding like new talent from all across the world, like going to Colombia and scouting like the minor leagues for the next big star, and then creating a team and things like that. It's like I said, it's a simulation game. I think it has quite a big following. It's been people have been playing it for a long, long time, and I didn't know that Sega had it before. That's kind of interesting to me. And that's a good game for them to have, really, in their repertoire. But they still, even for all that, they still don't really have enough though to really stand out there. I wouldn't say they stand out for the kind of game franchises that they have.
Just I mean, really, just Sonic and stuff like the what is it? The rally racing something. Sega Rally.
Okay, I don't know
Um,
that.
and so like this has a list of their franchises, and then they've acquired. They acquired Company of Heroes, Warhammer 40, Dawn of War, Thunder Force, Total War. They acquired Total War. Um, so I mean, they obviously are still. Those are, I mean, those are kind of like B grade games. I think. Like I think everybody's heard of Company of Heroes,
I've heard of it.
and I think people know like Warhammer and stuff. So
Yeah, Warhammer is the kind of game that I always feel like every time I'm looking to purchase a game on the PlayStation Network, always pops up. I never buy it, but it always pops up. So I feel like people are playing that.
Virtua Fighter.
That's right, Virtual Fighter owned by Sega. That's right.
When was the last time we had Virtua Fighter?
I think just a few years ago. I think maybe 2017 or something like that. I think we had one. Maybe 2000. It's in the last 5 years for sure. We had a Virtual Fighter, but Virtual Fighter doesn't do quite as well anymore. It really used to be. I wouldn't say the king of the arcades, but it used to be really hot at the arcades back in the 90s and 2000s. It's really died off a little bit since then. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't played it in a while, but I think the fighting game is really dominated by obviously Street Fighter is up there, even though it's really cooled off. Then obviously have Mortal Kombat. People love Mortal Kombat. People buy it. This is the interesting thing about Mortal Kombat. People buy it, but you don't see a lot of streamers on Twitch doing it. You see more on YouTube. Not sure why exactly, but it definitely does well in terms of sales. Then you have Tekken. Tekken is
Tekken, yeah.
Tekken is kind of the one that I would say is stealing Virtual Fighters thunder in a sense because they're more similar 3D fighters kind of thing. And I'm not sure that Virtual Fighter does enough on its own that's unique to kind of put up a challenge to a giant like Tekken. So I'm not sure, but Tekken does incredibly well in the esports world. Does well. Now you won't see it. It won't pop up that much these days on Twitch and stuff because I think it's also a few years old now. But I don't think Virtua Fighter does well with the esports genre for whatever reason.
The,
So
according to this page, Virtua Fighter 5 was the last release in 2012.
really, well, I could have sworn that I saw a game released in years.
Maybe it was like a re you know,
Maybe it was a
yeah.
release.
Ruh, 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 ruh. Okay, yeah, here you go. 20 PlayStation 4 2016, Virtual Fighter 5 Final Showdown, and then this says that Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S 2020, a fully rewritten port of the version playable at various arcades, blah blah blah. Virtua Fighter 5. So they're still porting it. Virtua Fighter 5 is still alive.
They're still porting it, but this is an 8-year-old game. They're going on 9 years right now.
I think the last Virtua Fighter I played was 4. I loved that game on PS2 and stuff.
Gosh, I think mine was 3. You know,
Yeah, Jackie Bryant. Yeah,
I like that guy, Lion.
yeah.
The
Uh,
guy had that blonde hair, if I remember correctly. I look, Virtua Fighter was a fun game. It was fun, and the thing about it is, like, especially the older ones, it had those cool graphics. It looked nice. It looked sleek. It looked like something you wanted to play. It just had that thing about it, and so yeah, I'll forever remember. Now I've been playing Virtua Fighter since the first one, since it was like those blockheads, kind of like
yeah.
like characters.
Yeah.
Fun. It was a fun game at the time. It was just very fun, very unique. There was nothing else like it, and like in the 3D kind of genre, it was just really really different. So people used to play it a lot, and I think the first Virtual Fighter was really popular. I think it even outdid the second. Even when the second came out, people were still playing the first. It was just kind of iconic back in the day.
Look at that pic.
Just look at those squares. Those squares are iconic. Those squares are freaking iconic. Who's that? Jackie versus Luke. Yeah, I used to play as Jackie a lot. And then you got the wrestler guy who used to do this crazy dive, like
Jeffrey McWild.
is that him?
I don't remember.
I think it was Wolf. I think it was Wolf. Wolf was the wrestler.
Yep, professional Canadian wrestler. How about that?
Oh, really? Bret the Hitman Hart. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, Wolf was the man. But he was a little harder to play as. And of course, you have Akira, who is, I think, kind of like the poster boy for the game.
I want to see. I want to see photos. Like I want to see these characters again.
I know. It's weird that you're not getting those.
There's like nope photos on here.
This is a terribly incomplete article. What is this? Hey there, Frame Films. Um, by the way, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I don't know why I put slow mode. I just did it. Is it bad to put slow mode when you don't have a lot of people?
They have to wait like a minute or something to type.
Oh really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know actually. That's why I put it on. So when I set up the stream, I just kind of checked everything. So that's the reason. But I'll know for next time.
You
Stop by though.
son of a.
Now, Frame Films, did you play Virtua Fighter back in the day? Because we kind of just were talking about Microsoft trying to buy Nintendo, and we were looking at this article and we just kind of realized because we thought it was recent and then we kind of realized it was just like an old article that was kind of just you know getting back to the surface once again because it happened some 20 years ago. And so we were kind of discussing a little bit about that and what that meant for Microsoft and Nintendo back in the day. And then I don't know how this happened. We just kind of got on the topic of Virtual Fighter. And by the way, I can go and I can take off slow mode right now. There we go. So I just took off.
Let the people speak.
Yeah, I just took it off. There we go. Um, Yeah, it's funny. I didn't know that, Jeff. I just thought that slow mode allowed people to just slow the chat down.
Oh, I think it's a timer.
Well,
So if you type, you have to wait whatever.
I guess I know now. I was telling you what I thought it was. I thought it just allowed people to, to slow the chat down. I guess it makes sense that it's a timer. I just saw it there and I clicked it. I like clicking. So that's what happened.
There you go.
So there we have Akira, who is Ryu's long brother. I mean, I'm surprised that Capcom didn't file some kind of a lawsuit for theft of copyright. But then again, Capcom was dealing with their own shenanigans with stealing Mike Tyson. So like, I guess they were in a position to complain.
The thing that I liked most about Virtua Fighter 4, and I think it was in, I don't remember, but like progressing through, like it was an arcade fighter, but it had like progression with the belts. So like you started off, and then you could get to like first dan, second dan, or 10th dan, ninth dan, and like you moved up in your ranks and stuff. I really like, and then they, of course, had like the unlockable. There's Lion, the unlockable like cosmetic stuff, and it had a lot of cool stuff. The online mode was pretty cool. I probably like 2011, 2012. I got Virtua Fighter 4 again on the 360, and there was still a big active online community. And like I just remember hopping in and being able to, like, they had tournaments still, they had all this stuff still going. Of course, that was like 10 years ago, so might have been 2013, 2012.
Yeah, it's close to 10 years ago. Yeah.
I don't even remember. Oh, this guy's my favorite, the monk.
The monk.
He was so quick. Are you looking on Discord or in the stream?
I'm looking at the street. Well, I should look at Discord. Right. I was trying to see if there was any other comments. The monk. I don't know if I remember him. Wow.
He was.
He might have been a. He might have came on late.
Oh, he was only in 4 and 5, so that's probably why.
Right. So that's why I don't remember. I don't.
Lei Fei. Sarah Bryant. I think Jeffrey McWild is. Yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah, I like that guy.
He was like a Hulk.
He looks nuts. He has that look. He looks nuts.
Cage, I thought was cool. He was like the ninja guy.
Yeah, that's right. He's been there since the first one.
Yeah.
Had the coolest moves. I think I really like playing some of the first one. Now it's funny, Jeff, because I didn't think that you liked fighters very much. I'm surprised you played Virtua Fighter a lot.
I mean, I was a younger man. I mean, I've played all of them. I'm just now, it's not on my priority list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to play the shit out of this.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's weird. Like, every kind of genre, there's like different stages. Right now I would say fighting games. I'm not sure if they're not at the height of their popularity. I wouldn't think so. It's weird. Right now we have like the battle royals and that kind of stuff, which is like the furthest thing away from a fighting game.
Right.
This kind of chaotic battle royal where everything goes. The furthest thing away from a one versus one duel, where you can kind of minimize your mistakes and things like that. It's very different, and that's where we're at today. I don't know if a lot of like young kids are picking up fighting games. I don't know. Maybe.
I doubt it.
It's a little too different compared to the popular games at the moment. So.
Wow. All right. Anyways, yeah, I started going off on these like, look at this old cover. That's not.
They're awesome. They're awesome. The Virtua Fighter had nice graphics. It just had that old school Japanese 3D thing. Kind of reminds me a bit of the covers of Fen as well. just has a very Japanese thing. And I like that.
I was trying to turn on that video, but it doesn't want to play. So,
It's all good. So,
so
all right. So we discussed Microsoft. I don't know if there's much else we can say on that. I think we also did want to talk.
eh.
We had a second topic that we wanted to.
The Indie Gamer Game Awards, I think.
Yeah. So we mentioned indie gaming. Um, by the way, guys, this is Jeff does the indie gaming stuff. It's really cool. It's like a magazine dedicated mainly or only to indie gamers to highlight indie creators. It's a really cool endeavor, and you're doing the indie game awards tonight.
Yeah. It'll be on YouTube and everything. Indie Gamer Magazine. Been
Okay. So
been working on that all week.
what can we expect? Like what's going on?
We've got a bunch of guest speakers. We've got guest speak like we have a voice actress from Hades. We have Tomasala, developer of the Falconeer. Like a lot of big indie titles. A lot of people heard Hades at the Game Awards. Um, so a bunch of cool stuff like that. We're giving out obviously awards. We have some stuff with the magazine, some big things coming back. Cool videos, little snippets, segments, and stuff of from like the writers and stuff like that. So it starts at 6 p.m. Central tonight on YouTube, and I think it's going to be on Twitch and everything. So that's I this whole month has just been whole month. I mean, the last 8 days, basically just been doing that, and then yeah.
So if you do it on Twitch, this is what I'm gonna do. To the channel, to the broadcast, because I think you can do that on Twitch. You can kind of like when you're offline, you can broadcast something else. So we can do that. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know if many people are going to come on but we're not. So the thing on Twitch is that we're not getting many people right now. I assume that people come mainly based on to get people to come on Twitch chatting. I'm not exactly sure, but like last time I had like at one point like 10 people
Yeah,
on the stream. So it might really vary depending on the region,
definitely. I definitely think so. I think
which makes sense.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like after this week, uh, I mean, like with the podcast and everything. Like I think it's just everybody's been busy with the holidays and everything going on, so we haven't gotten a chance to do that. And after this, my schedule is gonna free up quite a lot. So then we'll have you streaming. I'll be streaming a lot more. Our YouTube channel will get some more videos up, doing top fives, and I have a little documentary that I've been working on slowly. I've done one of them about like an old MMORPG that it was fine. So I think we're just now that we're getting out of the funk and everything, there's going to be a bunch more stuff coming on YouTube and Twitch. So I'm looking forward to getting back because it's the holiday season's rough. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back into a schedule.
No, it's rough, but I'm glad it's. I mean, look, this past year it was rough, but I don't know. It wasn't all that different than my daily. It was just rough, just because just more crap.
Yeah.
Just had more people over. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to say that. Get arrested or something, but
Gamestingr's been canceled, guys.
completely wiped off the internet.
No, I think 2021 is going to be a big year for Gamestinger. I think we have a lot of good things planned, and it's just now that now that the holidays are over, I think we're going to get a bunch more content.
Yeah, look, I'm excited, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna do some on Twitch and on YouTube. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. I think it's gonna be good. So I think that was what we wanted to talk about. Was mainly the Microsoft buys Nintendo. First, you got the indie game, nice. That should be fun. We'll check that out. And yeah, you've got someone from Hades, which was a big game at the Game Awards, which a lot of people thought could win, should win. Didn't win in the end, but it was nice that it was there. I think what there was 5 or 6 finalists, if I remember correctly. 7, I forget how many there were.
There was quite a bit.
Yeah, but it was up there. You
Yeah.
know, it was up there, and Last of Us was bogus, and I still think it was bogus, and a lot of people thought it was bogus when it happened, and I will forever be bogus. But hey, what are you gonna do? But it's really cool that you got someone working on that because Hades is, even though it's an indie game, it managed to become pretty high profile. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. So 2021 is going to be an awesome year. I think we got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for today, guys. So the goal is going to be to do these every Friday from around 12 Eastern to 1 for 1 hour p.m. Outside of that, I'm gonna try to put a schedule for the Call of Duty streams and other streams that might be going up, especially on Twitch, because on Twitch you got an area to put up your schedule, things of that nature. I'm gonna try to do that, and outside of that, we're gonna try to pump out maybe like one top 5 or kind of like more interesting, more polished video over the group.
Yep.
Because that will be coming down.
Yeah, definitely. You just right now it's just getting back on schedule and then or making a schedule and then yeah, then just putting in the work.
Yeah, that's it. All right, well, that's it.
Now that
By the way, guys, if you're still out there watching, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps us. Helps us a lot, actually. So please do subscribe if you're still watching.
and not that talking to just you wasn't fun, but normally when we do these podcasts, we have a full group and a lot more different perspectives and stuff, you know, deeper conversations and stuff. So,
But the only one that matters is mine. But
right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
it's fun to have more people around, even though I'm right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No, I'm just joking. All right, so that's gonna do it for us today, guys. We'll see you guys. Well, I might do some Call of Duty stuff. If you guys are watching on Twitch, I might see you later. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you too. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for the podcast. Or hopefully, a larger next time.
Definitely.